Everyone look at this. He just threw a whole pile of bottles into this old cardboard box. The trash is spilling all over the place, and it looks really messy and unpleasant. But right next to it, there is an old plastic bin that has been forgotten. Before I spend $20 or $30 on a new trash can, I want to see if this discarded plastic bin can become a working flip lid trash can for almost nothing. The result will be very surprising, so watch until the end. Now mark the exact area that needs to be cut out. This step looks simple, but it is very important. If it is off by just a little, the lid later will not fit, and it will get stuck when opening and closing. Now start cutting the marked section. Hold the bin firmly so the cut does not shake or drift off the line. I use the cutter and move slowly along the line I just drew. Be careful and make sure you stay safe while cutting, because plastic pieces can fly out during the cut. There is no need to rush this step. The important thing is to keep the blade steady. After cutting, there will be a lot of sharp burrs left around the rim of the bin. So don't skip the smoothing step. Now use sandpaper to sand evenly around the entire rim of the bin. Sand carefully in the areas that are still raised or have rough edges. Once the cut edge is smoother, the bin will not only be safer to use, but it will also look much cleaner and neater. Next, I will reuse an old piece of PVC pipe. Cut it into 4 small, equal pieces. These pieces will be attached to the 4 corners of the bin's rim. They help make the rim of the bin stronger, sturdier, and less flimsy during use. Now use super glue to secure these 4 plastic pieces to the 4 corners of the bin's rim. Place each piece close to the edge and hold it for a few seconds so the glue can bond firmly. It may look like just a small detail, but the effect is very clear. It helps the rim of the bin become stronger, prevents it from warping, and prepares it better for installing the lid later. Next, I will use the plastic lid piece I just cut out. Place this plastic piece on the table and mark the cutting line again. Align the edges carefully so when it is installed on the bin, the lid will not be crooked or have too large of a gap. After marking, start cutting along the line that was just drawn. This is a very useful piece to keep because its size already closely follows the original rim of the bin. If it is handled properly, it can become a completely new opening and closing lid. While I'm doing this, let me know one thing. Do you often repair things around the house? If you often repair things, comment number 1. If you do not often repair things, comment number 0. I'm very curious to see what everyone says. And now the new lid is starting to take shape pretty clearly. Continue sanding the entire edge of the lid. The plastic edges that were just cut are usually still sharp and a little rough. If we leave them like this, they can get caught when opening and closing, and they will not look good either. Use sandpaper to sand evenly around the cut edge, working slowly section by section. Just taking a few extra minutes here will make the lid cleaner safer, and the final result will look like it has been made new. Now, I'm going to drill 2 large holes in the upper part of the body. This will be the position for the pivot shaft of the flip door. The 2 holes must be balanced with each other. Otherwise, the door will tilt when opening and closing. After that, place the lid onto the body of the bin to test it. Check whether it fits properly. If the edges sit evenly and do not get caught, that means the lid is ready for the pivot shaft installation. Next, I will mark the remaining positions for attaching the hinges. Place the hinge nice and straight. This step needs to be done slowly, because if the drill holes are off, the lid can easily shift or get stuck when opened. Drill each position one by one. Keep the drill bit steady so the holes do not become too wide. If everything is aligned correctly from the beginning, the lid will open and close smoothly later, and it will look much more solid. Now use pop rivets to secure the hinge to the lid. Insert the rivet through the hinge and into the drilled holes, then clamp each position tightly. With thin plastic like this, pop rivets hold much more securely than screws. They press the two surfaces together, are less likely to strip out, and help the hinge stay firmly attached after many times opening and closing. Now I place the lid back onto the body of the bin to determine the exact position for attaching the hinge. Then mark each hinge hole onto the body. After marking drill the holes on the body of the bin one by one, keep the drill bit straight so the holes do not become crooked or too wide. Now insert the pop rivets through the hinge and the body of the bin, then clamp each position tightly. At this point, the bin no longer looks like something thrown away. It is slowly turning into a finished product. The large lid will help cover the opening of the bin. But to throw trash in quickly, without opening the entire lid, I'm going to make a small flip door at the front. When bottles are dropped in, the door will swing down and then return to its original position. After that, I reuse an old piece of PVC pipe to make the pivot shaft for this door. It is just a discarded piece of pipe, but when placed in the right position, it becomes a very useful detail. Now, place the pipe in the correct position, then use super glue to secure it firmly. Hold it still for a few seconds so the glue can bond evenly. Once the glue dries completely, the door can be used right away. Put the pivot shaft into the correct position, then rotate it a few times to test it. The thing I care about most is whether the door opens and closes smoothly, or if it catches on the edge or leans to one side. Once the movement is good, continue adding two small end caps on both sides of the shaft. These two details will hold the door more securely and prevent it from slipping down during use. Now, place the trash bag inside the bin. Pull the edge of the bag evenly around the rim of the bin, then tighten it neatly. Quickly check the lid one more time. The lid opens and closes properly, the bag does not slip off, and the bin is now ready to use. So from a plastic bin that was thrown away at a dump, we have turned it into a trash can with an opening and closing lid, sturdy enough to use every day. The interesting thing is that almost every detail was reused from discarded items. A little time, a few simple tools, and something that seemed useless has been given a new life. So if you also have an old item at home that is about to be thrown away, take one more look at it. Who knows, maybe it is waiting for you to turn it into something much more useful. If you enjoy seeing discarded items brought back to life like this, subscribe to the channel right now. If you have an idea you want me to try, leave a comment below. Who knows, your idea might become the content of the next video.